I am here, and here we go. All right, as Luke mentioned, I'm currently at RVIS International School, and today I'm going to share some synchronous learning strategies so that you can increase engagement and invite more student voice into your synchronous lessons. For students, I often share ground rules. I'm going to zoom right through these because I know you guys are all on mute and we have no distractions today. A virtual parking lot is often beneficial in your synchronous classrooms. Today, ours is the Padlet. The first strategy I would like to share can be used as a start without a start, and that is a continuum. I have 3 samples of continuums here that I can have students interact with. This is the first one is a history example where you can have students grab a text box, type in something that happened between 18 and 1900, put their name, and not only can you check on their learning, but you can see who is with you. Another example would be for reading language arts. This one is a protagonist and antagonist. I'm not a reading language arts teacher, so that's where I stopped with my example. Here are some math examples, and you can vary this according to grade level. All they do is take the text box, drag it to where they think it should be on the number line. It's a good way for you to check in on their understanding of current content or as you spiral back to other content. At this time, Luke is going to share a link to my slides, and I would strongly encourage you to join me on the slides actively. Some of you may also be more comfortable just viewing this from the Zoom meeting as is, but the link will be shared with you. I will invite you to interact in just a second. Here is an example of another continuum. This one I used at the end of a class with 5th graders who were adding and subtracting fractions. And they pulled the smiley face, and you can see even in the size of the smiley face on number 2 that this student definitely needed more support, and we asked that student to email their teacher for the specific help that they think they need, and then another meeting can be held afterwards. Now I would like to have you join me. I see many of you, 12 to 20 of you are on slide number 9. If you could pull your own smiley face and put it anywhere between 1 and 5, and this is about your comfort level with teaching synchronously. Maybe you've never done it and this is the first you're hearing about it. Maybe you have experience, but you're always interested in learning new ideas. You can do this on either slide 9 or slide 10, but I welcome you to do this with me. Hop on down to slide 9 or 10, please. Okay, and I'll wait for a couple people to drag that over just so I can make sure that it's working, and it's also my assessment to see if you are understanding what I am sharing with you. All right, I'm going to keep on moving. So please consider how you can use continuums in your online synchronous classroom and how you can make it just right for your students at their grade level or your specific content. The next and final synchronous learning strategy I'd like to share with you is the interactive gallery walk. We're going to take those posters off the walls of your classroom and bring them to the Google Slides by an activity with Venn diagrams. On slide 14, you will see that we will be comparing and contrasting teaching at school and virtual teaching. If you're unfamiliar with using a text box, I have those directions for you on the left side of slide 14. You will know where you're going by looking at the right side, and I'm just going to highlight that, thank you. On the right side, you will see which slide you're going to go to. Once you get there, start marking up those Venn diagrams and comparing and contrasting teaching at school and virtual teaching. Unfortunately, I will not allow as much time as I would with students, but I'm going to give you about 30 seconds, so grab a slide. If you end up on the wrong one or you duplicate what's being said, don't worry about it, but I will see you on slides 15 through 23. Go. Awesome. As you are working, I would be doing just what I would be doing in the classroom and moving from desk to desk, taking notes, whether it's for misunderstandings, new ahas, and how I'm going to frame my discussion at the end of my lesson. So already I'm seeing that we have whole body teaching while we're at school, and the relationships can continue while we're in the classrooms and also while we're virtual teaching. Thank you, pre-K through 2nd grade teachers. I'm just hopping down from slide to slide. This is amazing. I can't tell you how exciting it is to be on the teacher end of this, to see the students working. Great work. Whoever's in the English and Social Studies room, if you're feeling lonely, hop down to somebody else's, but thank you. This is also fun to see who's here. Leadership, thank you also. Definitely more easy to have easy and casual catch-ups in the hallway. As a coach, I definitely miss that, checking the pulse of the teachers. All right, I'm going to keep moving because the strategy, as promised, is the interactive gallery walk. So join me on slide 24. My apologies for cutting you off mid-thought. The way that we're going to do this is you're going to hop to the next slide. If you're on 21, you will go to 22. Use the comment tool, use a highlighting tool, a scribble tool, a sheet, or you can copy an emoji that I've shared with you on slide 24 and go look at the other Venn diagrams and show how you agree, you question, you love, you wonder about the comments that were shared. Was that the bell? Awesome.
That's the bell.
Okay, all right, I can do this. All right. I'm going to go in 5 seconds and I'm going to end on slide 25. So if you are not there yet, meet me there. Please consider how you can use the interactive gallery walk. The last one is a formative assessment on slide 27. If our topic is synchronous online learning, please tweet either here on Twitter, #virtualteachmeet. Feel free to copy any of the slides that are shared on the Padlet. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Beth. That was fantastic. I know there's a lot of information to go through. I added a question. If you had more time, what would you say?
Oh gosh, if I would have more time, I would say check out the slides. I would also say follow @Teresa Wills, who is my professor from a recent synchronous in the middle of the night grad program, who has inspired me to take this on. Luke knows that I'm intimidated by technology, but this can be done. Students in a 5th grade classroom are currently learning 3 times a week about fractions synchronously, and they are showing up every day and engaging in the material. If you have questions, please, absolutely, I'll put my email in the text box, but that's also at the end of one of the slides that I shared. Thank you, Luke.
All right, next up we have Sharmeen Musa, who's a 1st grade teacher here in Bahrain at RVIS International School. She's going to be sharing on how to build a community of engaged learners, and she's doing some fantastic stuff with her 1st graders. Sharmeen, you're ready to go?
Hi, can you hear me? It's all good. All right, guys. Thank you all for coming. My name's Sharmeen, and I am a 1st grade teacher at RVIS International School. I have been teaching 1st grade for 4 years now. Jumping straight into my learning outcomes, we're going to explore ways to build a community of engaged learners using Seesaw and HyperDocs virtually. So we use Seesaw in 1st grade at RVIS, and I think it's absolutely fantastic because it gives students voice, it allows for ownership, allows authentic feedback, but most importantly, it builds a strong connection between the key stakeholders, the student, the parent, and the teacher. I began using Seesaw for virtual school, oh God, about 6 weeks ago. Started off with Google Docs that had embedded links in it. I used messages in a video format every morning, assigned the students tasks that they could finish in their own time at home. However, it proved problematic for my 6-year-olds because they couldn't navigate independently with this format. So, with my observations, parent feedback and student feedback, I found a customizable HyperDoc on Teachers Pay Teachers. If you're interested, Leslie at Kindergarten Works has produced it. It is about just $1.99. It's a fantastic template because it embeds some quality, the same quality activities that I was using in the Google Docs, but the heuristics of this template allow the young learners to navigate them intuitively, as if they were playing a game at home on a tablet. That's how simple it is. And I am just gonna very quickly show you that here. So everything here is a clickable button. I won't click through all of them for this presentation, but just to walk you through, they've got their word study, reader's workshop. What's nice is that you can actually embed an audio from yourself for the instructions of the lesson. And as well, we have helpful videos. If they've forgotten how to upload onto Seesaw, they can go right into that and it will show them. So it's in the initial rollout phase. I mean, we've only used it for 2 weeks, but we've had some great positive feedback from the parents, the kids, and the teachers who've been using it. How can we build that engaged learner community? Well, let me model that. As international school teachers ourselves, we are all away from family, well, most of us at least. So how do we stay connected? Well, we reach out for that phone or video calls with family and friends to stay connected. And I think that is essentially what this community needs. So I've been using personalized video morning messages every day. Sometimes I'm a strange character in my video messages. I model my writer's workshop, science, and reader's workshop videos as well. My small group meetings through Google Meets are fabulous because we can play games while we're online. I've also been using the audio tool in Seesaw to use my voice to give feedback. And we use Padlet this every morning for an interactive space where they can take attendance and see each other and like each other's posts. And that is something I know the kids look forward to because the parents tell me all the time. And that is pretty much the end of my presentation. So I hope, thanks for listening. And if you have any questions, you can email me or DM me on Instagram and Twitter.
Tara Wadby, Tara Wadby, who is the head of school at RVIS International School here in Bahrain. And she's going to be sharing on community connections that have been made here and how that's been going. Tara, you there?
I am here. Can everyone hear and see me?
Good stuff.
Okay, so when we shifted to virtual school about 6 weeks ago, we realized that as important as all the learning tasks was also staying connected, present, and visible with our community, every stakeholder in our community, students, parents, and teachers. And in hindsight, upon reflection, as I was preparing this, I'm calling it 3 C's and an F. So this was definitely not a strategy that we had in the beginning. We just knew that connection was very important. And so our first C is communicate. We knew that we needed to stay very visible and present in all the different ways that we normally do. We developed, and this is a huge team effort. So I'm actually proud to be presenting a collective effort from our entire school community. But we developed a virtual school portal. So now when you go to RVIS, the first thing that pops up on our website is to go to the portal. And we're archiving all of the information there. Regular community updates with our parents, with our students, and with our faculty, daily social media posts. And then what we're really proud of, and we're inspired by another school in Asia, they were doing a lot of micro PD on Twitter, and they were doing a lot of tech micro PD. So we thought they already have that market, so why don't we focus on strategies that our students might need, or our parents, or sometimes our teachers. So we have some micro PD that's like 1 or 2 minute sessions on what, quick tips for all sorts of things, from close reading to organization. All of these links are live, so when you go to the Padlet, you can click on these links and you'll see them live. We also started a showcase of learning, and it was phenomenal because we started organizing it around our mission. So now we have this learning showcase that also shows all of the different ways that we're meeting our mission, not just through virtual school, but in general. So it's very exciting. And so that moving into that, what is the purpose of all of this communication? It's for connection. So instead of just leaving it with print, we got really comfortable very quickly making lots of video messages. And so this is just one from me, but we made a point of people seeing us often. And so just like Charmaine her kids are seeing her, we wanted to make sure our community was seeing the coaches and the other members of the team who might not have classes. So we have lots of video messages. We started focusing on one-to-one check-ins. So we're also we're checking in with parents, we're checking in with teachers, we're checking in with students, lots of different people. We're just making sure that people are okay, because we recognize that this is difficult. Even if we're doing well and having success with virtual school, this is a difficult time. So just lots of one-to-one personalized check-in. We're continuing our virtual celebrations. In fact, this morning, we just had a kind of open faculty meeting with questions and answers just to stay present and connected, but also events. We're gonna have a virtual spirit week. We're having a virtual talent show. We're planning for all of those different things that we usually do. We wanna make sure that school is more than a set of tasks online. The learning tasks are wonderful, but what is the purpose of going to our schools? All of the different things that we also offer. And then I mentioned the learning showcase earlier. So we've been showcasing the learning that we see, but as a way to deepen the connection, we've invited students and parents to contribute. So we might not see everything. They can contribute what they think is cool. So we're calling that Share Your Cool. And so that is our second C. Now, one thing that's important, and I learned this from a webinar a couple weeks ago, connection is not a raft of communication, it's personal. So it's not just a bunch of stuff we push out, it has to be personal, and that leads us to our third C, care. All of this is in service of caring, right? So one thing that we did very early on, we did a Flipgrid of gratitude for all of our teachers, and we had personalized video messages for everyone on our staff. But we have now kind of been inspired by that, so we're going to start a Wednesday wave so that our students can see more of their teachers in a different setting. And then we've also focused on positive personalized messages. Some of our teachers are sending a weekly message to parents just to let them know what the kids are doing well. We're also, as a leadership team and as a coaching team, reaching out and connecting and just trying to make sure that everyone receives positive feedback during this time. And something that we've always done is teacher and student spotlight. So we're continuing those. In fact, Charmaine is our most recent spotlight. She does phenomenal, amazing work. And so here's just one example. I'm just gonna play a little bit of a video. It's just one example of a video thing. It doesn't always have to be spoken words. And this was fun to put together. And I will try. And we did this just before spring break. And I want to point out in this next one that it doesn't have to be perfect. We did this in one take. It took us 10 minutes. You can see the hand there, but the point here is not perfection. It's just reaching out and connecting. And so if we were too focused on perfection, we wouldn't have time to do all of this. So really just put it out there, do one take video messages and get them done. So that goes into our last, we had 3 C's and an F. So have some fun, be silly, share a joke, dress up. As this is our high school principal, this was her video message the first week when we realized that a lot of our high school students were getting up, showering, getting ready, putting their pajamas on and coming to class. So she kind of did a joke of that and showed up in her onesie and did her message to the students that way. And finally, draw inspiration from our Denny the Dolphin and just have fun and remember that, you know, we can be very serious and there's lots to be concerned about, but we can also just enjoy ourselves, have a bit of dance, let loose, and enjoy.
All right.